Corgan family asks, Wildcat package without Bo Pabula and Tyler Warren, what does it look like if you had a guess? If you didn't check it out, we talked about this in an earlier segment where we were discussing practice and what we've seen so far. The answer is everybody. I think everybody's going to run the football. Quarterbacks included. Every quarterback included. We also had another one here. Sorry for the delay in getting us off track, but I just want to make sure people here in the chat are seen and heard on the show. For the people listening on the podcast, I wish I could do the same for you. If you leave a comment, I check that semi-regularly. We can get your comments here on the YouTube show, obviously on a delay, because you're not able to watch it live with us, but we love you and we love the support you get us from the podcast side of things. Love of the Game podcast says, what's your impact you see from Khalil Dinkens having on the offense? I don't know that he's going to be Tyler Warren in the Tyler Warren package the way we just described, but I mean, he made Bruce Feldman's freak list. And he's one of the better blockers in college football at the tight end position. So his impact is, I don't know what the ceiling is just yet because we don't know how the receivers are going to work into that. We don't know how the running backs are going to work into that. But I don't know that he's going to be the focal point of the offense the way that Tyler Warren was, because I think they have more options this year. I don't think Tyler Warren last year was necessarily plan A as they went into the season, because his targets ramped up as the season went on to the insane degree they got to, as opposed to where it was at the beginning of the year.
Koloniki said this offseason, more or less, paraphrasing here, but it's like, was I not supposed to get the ball to Tyler Warren all the time? He was the best player on the field. Like, yeah. What? He'd be an idiot not to. If somebody asserts themselves, I do think that they think the diversity of their talent is better this year, that it's the difference from the strength or the very best players that they have and next best is not a gap. I don't think.
It's not the continental shelf where it just drops.
Yeah. So I think that that's important.
Have you heard of Wave Fruit Farm? It's this great farm market bakery and cafe. You can shop with them either at their farm in Port Matilda or downtown State College.
No way.
Yes, Wave Fruit Farm. They have all sorts of seasonal fruits and veggies.
Way cool.
No, Wave Fruit Farm. But anyway, you should visit their bakery and cafe. They serve amazing food all day.
Way.
Fruit Farm.
James Franklin talking about the backup quarterback battle. Both Nate and I wrote about this, and I found this funny in a way, in a certain way. Not necessarily, James Franklin didn't say anything funny, and I don't think that this is a sarcastic thing. I just think people's thought process is always entertaining, and I want to get Nate's view on him talking about the backup quarterback battle.
So we're going to, this thing's, I think, going to go right down to the wire. Depending if it finishes up like it did in the spring, it could continue throughout the entire year. If it's close, if there's a gap, there's a gap. But if it's close, I think the competition could go throughout the year. Whoever has the best week that week is going to be the backup quarterback type of deal. So having all that data to try to compare and contrast is valuable. But we'll see. Again, it could be there's a gap, by one of them, and it's clear who the number 2 quarterback is, or this will go through the season. And to be honest with you, if it's close all season, it could go in the next year.
So I don't know. I'm gonna read between the lines here, and you can tell me if I'm correct.
Okay.
This is how my mind works, where I want to manifest the best possible outcome. I want to think of and then project into the world what's the best possible situation, in my own life or when I'm thinking about football, et cetera, et cetera. The best possible outcome for the quarterback battle is there is no outcome and both guys stay on the roster and nobody transfers. And James Franklin mentioning that at the end, I think that's him throwing that out there into the universe of, hey, what if we just didn't pick a backup quarterback and suddenly we have 2 guys competing next year? And if we make a decision now, it means that we probably don't get to make a decision in 2026. Is that an accurate reading of what he's saying?
I think a little bit, but I'm not sure it's quite that dramatic. Did everyone expect Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, Drew Allar, Zane Durant, Denai Dennis Sutton, all those guys to come back this year? No, they didn't. conversations are had, value is determined. And really, I think something that Penn State does as well as maybe anybody in the country is, yes, develop relationships with players and their families, but more important than having strong relationships and just trust us dynamic, it's, hey, these are the facts, right? These are, this is what happens when you're constantly transferring, right? These outcomes that you see all over college football of guys who, once you leave your home for the first time, the school that you initially pledged to and began your career with, and like, it is not the grass is always greener all the time. There are plenty of situations where it worked out. You're seeing with Penn State's portal pickups this year, guys who Penn State has communicated that of they felt like they needed to be somewhere else to reach their full potential, right? So there might be a ceiling at Syracuse. There might be a ceiling at Southern Cal. Whereas at Penn State, yeah, there's a huge opportunity and a quarterback who's primed to make you look good and to be good. I don't know. I don't think it is necessarily a foregone conclusion that picking a number 2 quarterback means the other one is gone. What I do think is going to happen, and is we've had this conversation all offseason about how terrible Penn State's schedule is this year, right? The non-conference portion. There's only 3 games to play with, and it's fair. It's a fair critique. Penn State gets 2 months of preseason camp and actual game experience before they play anybody who poses a threat to beat them. That using that extra month of that preseason time is ample opportunity to sort some of this stuff out. And I think that they intend to use all of it, right? If it is not a clear distinction, you can test things out and go in different ways, and mix and match and see what works and see what doesn't, and then commit to it moving forward after that.